Melanie. Leave his ass. Please. Please, I beg of you. Hey guys, thanks for stopping on over to another video. This week we're talking about Love Island again because so much has happened. And really my plan was to do a video for every episode, but that is 5 nights a week and I cannot do that. I don't know how people do that. Good for y'all. Like, props. Big old props to the people who could push out these Love Island videos every day. Couldn't be me. I cannot do it. But we are going to talk about movie night because some things came out that really very much needed to come out. I am so pleased with how movie night ended. Okay, so too much has happened for me to go over everything. Like I couldn't do it. At least if I want this video to be less than 3 hours, because y'all know I like to yap. And I'm sorry if you hear a cat in the background. She is currently being a menace to society. So just know there are 2 main differences to the season so far. The first has to do with CASA and AMOR. So CASA and AMOR is whenever they split up the couples. The boys go to a new villa and the girls stay in the current villa, or vice versa. That's just what happened this season. And they bring in new hotties for everybody to test the connections. And at the end of 3 or 4 days, they each individually choose to either stay loyal to their couple or bring in someone new from CASA and AMOR. Right. But the new twist that they had this season was they live streamed the entire first challenge of all the boys from all the OG boys meeting all the new CASA girls for the first time, and they were all making out with each other and making some wild comments.
I'm going back with somebody different, bro. Fuck, shit. They about to climb this fucking tree. Shit, he said Kenzie out the window.
But they live streamed that entire event to the OG girls, so they got to watch their boys go wild. Some went more wild than others.
Position. Pissing me off.
So what she working with?
I want to see a different side because I'm not playing that shit. You like that or what?
Oh, I like it. I like it.
Alright, I gotta go.
Nice to meet you.
Bye, guys. She stole my move.
Let me just say that the night before, Corbin was playing DJ with Kenzie under the sheets, and then 2 minutes into CASA, he's saying he's gonna couple up with someone new, and he says the whole time that he didn't think about Kenzie not one time. Was I surprised that Corbin went crazy in CASA? No. I was a little bit surprised at how fast it happened. Because Corbin is a hornball. And so is Kenzie, to be fair. They're both hornballs. And I very much wasn't surprised that Corbin found someone else that he wanted to play DJ with under the sheets. And this is all important because at movie night, which we're about to discuss here, all the boys seem to forget that the girls saw the beginning of how they were going to behave at CASA. Like, we got to see probably 15 minutes of it. With how the past Love Island contestants have described the challenges, that shit usually takes like a couple of hours. So we saw like 15 minutes and the girls had to watch their boys wilding out for at least an hour, probably longer. Most of the girls handled CASA AMOR in a much more respectful way than most of the guys did. Some of them did see their men going crazy in that live stream and they decided to act accordingly. They said, if my man's gonna explore, I'm gonna explore. But for the most part, most of them handled it really respectfully, especially compared to how their partners reacted. Except for Bryce, really, who had me sweating in that CASA AMOR live stream video because his hand was getting a little too comfortable with the lower section of some of these girls. But I will say, after that first challenge, he really was just pining after Trinity. He wanted to go back home to his girl so bad. Like, I swear he was about to jump off that pier, swim to the other villa just so he can go cuddle Trinity. And I support that. You know, I really didn't want to like Bryce when I first saw him. Episode 1, he traumatized me a little bit because he looks just like the last guy that I was seeing, like just like him, and he has the same mannerisms, and also he has the same smirk, and I just wanted to smack that smirk off of his face. But he grew on me, and as much as I really didn't want to like him, he became probably my favorite guy, you know, and now there's Carl, so they're tied for my favorite guys. But I love him and Trinity, and I support them, and that's that. And the second big change this season was movie night. So movie night happened season 5 and season 6, but they skipped it last season, so we weren't too sure if they were gonna include it this season, but thank God they did, because some things needed to be revealed. So movie night is usually where the producers show Islanders clips, like usually single out of context clips of their fellow Islanders that like America has seen in the episodes, but that maybe the other people aren't aware of. And usually these clips do create some drama. It's great television. But this year, they didn't just do little single out of context clips. This year, they did compilations. And the editors did their big one. It was crazy. And Sincere got the worst of it, and I'm here for it. Casey and Kenzie also got to see the error of their ways through compilations, and they both did not like what they see. I have separate opinions of both of them, but we don't have time for that today. But Sincere got featured in 2 movies. 2 compilations dedicated to Mr. Insincere, who we have seen in my previous video I am not a fan of. I love Melanie. I want her to get away from this man. So one of the videos with Sincere, or one of the movies, was a compilation of him talking to Melanie, his current partner, who we love. And it would go back and forth between things he would say to Melanie and things he would say to Soul, who was a bombshell that I also believe we talked about in the last video, that he was growing a connection with and made out with a bunch of times. And also downplayed the whole situation and kind of made Melanie seem crazy to the other Islanders with, because it doesn't matter. Okay, we're not going into that part. But the main thing is, they showed back-to-back clips of him talking to Melanie and him talking to Soul. He would say a lot of the same things, and then he would say some wild-ass shit to Soul. Like, talking about Soul, like, love at first sight and shit.
I'm not, like, a love at first sight kind of person, but I can definitely, like, gauge stuff.
Crazy. And it would go back and forth to little lies that he would tell Melanie, and then it would show the actual truth of the situation. It was so crazy. It was so juicy. I loved every second of it, but I also cried for Melanie. Like, she like regressed in herself. She shriveled up into herself, and she asked Aniya to hold her hand in like a little kid voice.
Shaking, can you hold my hand? Yeah. You sure you don't want to say anything? I'm okay. Yeah, I'm okay. You're not crazy. Yeah.
It was very, very sad to hear, or it was sad to see, and it was sad to hear. I hated every second of it, but I was very glad that she got to see how we see Sincere acting, and the other Islanders were also just as shocked because they weren't aware of what he was saying to Melanie and then doing behind her back. It was chef's kiss.
Like even with the little chats, this is so bad. This is wrong.
I just really appreciate
so
you're just honest. Like,
I did a little bit too much for sure. But
the way you think.
oh shit, that's the same dad.
Okay. Please work. No, I'm hearing you. Yeah. Okay.
The second movie was him at CASA with AMOR, the girl he was exploring there, which, shocker, shocker, he also downplayed to Melanie. He straight up told AMOR that if there was more time, that he would have definitely chosen her, and Melanie saw him say that in movie night. That's when she went off. She already had to deal with one of the videos, and then the second one being basically him doing that same shit the same shit to her over and over again. She finally went off on him, and thank God, I am so glad that she finally went off on this man. Yell at him more, please.
You always say you're gonna fix it, but you don't. So when the fuck are you gonna fix it? When the fuck are you gonna fix it?
Before we
Because
left
you
for
don't.
CASA,
I
shit
swear
was
to God, I'm not
good.
gonna believe you fucking like me until you fucking fix it. And fix it after so. You said you would and you did it. Now you go to fucking CASA, you still didn't fucking fix it. So when the fuck are you gonna fix it?
Since the past 2 days, the past 48 hours, 72 hours that we've been back, I've showed you through actions.
What the fuck are actions? Making me breakfast, thank you. CASA more should have been the action. And now I'm sorry, you're just a bullshitter.
And I'm glad she finally yelled at him. I'm glad she finally put him in his place. But please do not take this man back. And I fear that she may, because for some reason unknown to anyone, and especially me, other people in this villa, including most of the girls, are telling Melanie to forgive him. Excuse me? For what? Why? No. Y'all just watched him in 4K fool this girl, humiliate her, and lie to her so many times. And I'm sure, you know, maybe we probably didn't even see all of those clips. Like, we probably didn't even see the full compilation, because you know how producers and those editors are. And we saw a lot. So how are you guys going to claim to be her friend and tell her to forgive this lying man? That's crazy. He was lying to most of the islanders too. So make it make sense, because I don't understand. And honestly, somehow, Corbin and Parmida are the only ones I agreed with the last episode, because most of the other islanders are either like playing it on the fence, they're not sure what to tell Melanie, or they're straight up telling her that they're team Sincere and to forgive Sincere. Wild work. I never thought I would agree with Corbin and Parmida, because they're, quite frankly, two of my least favorites on Love Island. I think Corbin is funny. Parmida is from San Antonio, which is super cool, because God, kind of me too, almost. But I don't like them that much. But this episode, they just jumped up to one of my top spots, because Corbin and Parmida told Melanie straight up, and a lot of this came from Parmida, but they told her straight up that she deserves better, and that Sincere fooled everyone, including her, and that, you know, they may like each other, but it's toxic. And Melanie said, thank you, that is, like, I appreciate it, that is what a real friend would say. And I agree, that is what a real friend would say. And I truly hope that Melanie takes that to heart, because this man has taken away her sparkle in a month's time. You were supposed to be living your life, enjoying Fiji, and instead this man is just lying to you and playing with your feelings, and just, for some reason, your friends are telling you to just forgive him. I'm sure part of it's because they want you to stay. I don't care, because as you've said multiple times, being picked is not the prize, being respected is, and you are not getting respected. And I don't want anyone to be treated like that. And he needs to work on himself, and he needs to leave you alone. I still stand tall for my girl Melanie, but I need her to leave him, please. Please. And if anyone is dating anyone that even kind of acts like Sincere, leave him too, please. You deserve better. Everyone deserves better. He needs to work on himself, and she needs to find someone that'll bring, well, no, she needs to bring herself that sparkle back and find someone who's going to keep that sparkle going, because sincere is not it. That is all for me, folks. Thank you so much for sticking around for this video. I love talking about Love Island with y'all, and you know I haven't been super regular in my uploads. I've been dealing with some personal tragedies and some things going on, plus school and work, and everything's just a lot. But I love talking Love Island with y'all, and really just anything juicy. So if you want to join in on the discussion, I would love to hear your thoughts down below. So leave a comment, maybe leave a like, you know, subscribe if you so please. And I will talk to y'all soon for the next video. Bye!